What is Korea? Korea is a country in East Asia with one of the biggest economies in the world. It is the fourth largest in Asia and 12th largest in the world. No, what is Korea? Korea is known for its global influence on pop culture known as Hallyu or the Korean Wave. It has transformed global culture through music, drama, and cinema. No. What is Korea? There are many ways to define and understand Korea. In this video, I'm going to try to explain and understand Korea from the perspective of feminism. Before we get into the topic, what is feminism? According to the International Women's Development Agency, feminism is about all genders having equal rights and opportunities. Currently, South Korea is experiencing second wave feminism in fourth wave platforms. Now, what are the waves in feminism? Let me explain. The first wave of feminism happened in the late 19th century. The main focus of the movement at that time was for women to have voting rights and representation. This wave was prominent in newly democratic countries, notably in Western Europe and North America. The second wave of feminism happened in the 1960s. The main focus of the movement was biological rights and protection. For context, during World War II, factory workers were predominantly women, and after World War II, men and women started to work together. Then, men started to harass women in the workplace, which is why women fought for their biological rights. The third wave of feminism happened in the 1990s. The main focus of the movement was LGBTQ rights and intersectionality. Furthermore, women themselves started to notice that some women are different. There's Asian women, Black women, Latin American women, and etc. The fourth wave of feminism happened in the 2010s. The content is merely an extension of the third wave. However, one factor that defined this wave was the use of the internet and social media. A product of the fourth wave was the Me Too movement. Therefore, Korea is experiencing second wave feminism that fights for women's biological rights and protection on fourth wave platforms, on the internet and social media. In Korea, they adopt Confucianism as their ideology. In simple terms, Confucianism believes that there are two sides in order to create balance. There is the yin and yang, the light and dark, high and low, and men and women. One thing that's important to note is that these two sides are not conflicting with each other, but rather complementary. Another important concept in Confucianism is that people have their own separate roles to create harmony in society. There's a concept called 부부유별, which means the separation of husband and wife. The husband's role is to work and provide for the family, and the wife's role is to be a housewife. Back then, women were educated during the Joseon dynasty. They were recently educated when Protestant missionaries from the West came and during the Japanese colonization. This happened for two reasons: spreading Christianity and driving the economy. Women were occupying new spaces such as schools, factories, and hospitals. People often think that the Japanese had done terrible things to women, most notably the comfort women. However, they didn't realize that the Japanese also gave Korean women education. This is what the yangban or noble women looked like. This is what peasant women used to look like. And this is what women look like after the Japanese colonization. Women started to dress more modern and wore short skirts and bob cuts. It was a sign of female emancipation, sexual permissiveness, and hints of masculinity. A lot of people didn't like this change and criticized it that it was selfish and unpatriotic. Women started to get into men's territory, and for a society that believes in separate roles, it disrupts harmony. Some interesting facts to note are, during 1963 to 1990, the number of women workers increased 14 times. In 1975, female manufacturing industries were responsible for 70% of total national export earnings. So, one of the driving factors of the South Korean economy were women. But how were the women doing exactly? Unfortunately, women were still getting harassed in the workplace. The gender pay gap in South Korea is higher than in other OECD countries, and there are still many people that believe that women belong in homes. On the bright side, feminism is progressing in Korea. In 2012, the two main political parties were led by women, and in 2013, Park Geun-hye became the first ever female president in South Korea. Women also held other high-level positions such as ministers and CEOs. The CEO of McDonald's Korea, P&G Korea, Puma Korea, and Coca-Cola Korea, to name a few, were all female. South Korea is experiencing second-wave feminism on fourth-wave platforms. Even though they are still in the second wave, they are making quite a progress. The question is it enough progress? Does Confucianism play a role in how Koreans view gender? If so, how big of a role? Those are questions that Professor Tizard asked, and I'm still figuring out the answer. The world views Korea as a technologically advanced nation. However, in terms of feminism, they are far behind. We cannot directly compare feminism in Korea and the West because they have vastly different cultures and values. Therefore, we shall not blindly force Western values into Korean society. To end this video, I would like to ask a question. What would a perfect society be like?